Hey guys, I'm Mayan Merchant, and today I'll be showing you how to make a game using Pygame in under an hour. So I'm assuming before making this game you have some Python knowledge, and you have Python and Pygame installed. If you don't have Python installed, just download it from the website. The link will be in the description below. And if you don't have Pygame installed, just click install Pygame on your Windows terminal. The link to that will also be in the description below, as well as how to install it on the Windows, on Mac and Linux. And all the links, everything shared in this video will be in the description below, as well as my script on GitHub. So let's get started. Okay, so first what we want to do is we want to import Pygame, import random, import math, and from Pygame import mixer. Random and math, I'll explain those after, but they're necessary for this game. From Pygame import mixer, we'll need this to add sound in the game. Pygame.init. This basically tells all the Pygame functions to initialize, get ready for it being used. Next, you want to define window values. Win equals Pygame dot display dot set underscore mode, and this will be inside of double brackets, but in my case 750 as the x value and 570 as the y value. Okay, then we want to display our caption, so Pygame dot display dot set caption, and mine will be in quotes alien invasion. That's the name of the game. And then I want to set an icon, so this will be pygame.image. Anytime you want to load up an image, we'll need pygame.image.load, and all the images should be in also in quotes icon.png. Now pygame.display.set underscore icon equals icon. Next, what I'm gonna do is set our background. Again, pygame.image.load in quotes background .jpg. A tip: your background can be in JPG, and your icon can also be in JPG, but every other image that's in your game should be in PNG, or your game will just look bad. So game loop over here. I'll put comments just so it's easier to read after, because this script will be on my GitHub, and the link to that will be in the description below. So so outside of the while loop, we want to make run equals true. Now while run is true, win.fill. This is basically to draw the color on the screen. This uses RGB values, which are stored inside of which are in double brackets. You can use, I'm choosing black with a 000. You can choose any RGB color. Just go to color to RGB on Google. It's probably the first link there. So win.blick. This will set our background. Blick is basically to draw anything on the screen. So this will be background, comma brackets, and then 0, 0, since we're starting it at the top left hand corner. Then if for event in Pygame dot event dot get. So Pygame dot event dot get collects all the events that are currently happening, and then if event dot type equals to Pygame dot quit. Quit is basically an event which is pressed when you click this button over here. So run will equal to false, and as soon as run equals to false, it will exit out the loop and it will put Pygame dot quit, which uninitializes all the Pygame functions. Next, quit to quit your code. Okay. After this, we'll also need Pygame dot display dot update. This should be your last line of code in your loop right over here. This basically runs all of your runs everything in the loop. Well, it doesn't, but you'll see. So now let's run and see the window. That's your background over here. That's 0, 0. That's your width, also your x value. That's your height, also your y value. Okay, we click this, it's closed. Unless you have this here, clicking this, it just won't work. So next what we want to do is make our player. Our player will be a spaceship. Spaceship. Okay. Let me just copy this. Spaceship equals to Pygame image dot load then quote spaceship dot png. Okay, you're loading the spaceship image, and then ship x should be 350. That should work for my values, my width and height window. And ship y should be 450. And then ship, well, you also got this velocity, speed, all that. It should be 8. And then the same thing will make for UFO. The UFO will be our enemy trying to attack the ship. And then we'll make bullets and fight them afterwards. So change this. UFO, UFO.png, UFOX, UFOY, UFO well. Okay. Then I'll make the UFO well. In my opinion, the best should be 4 or 6, your choice. And then here, this is where a random function comes in. Random thing comes in. You wanna spawn the randian. I'm going to spawn the UFO at a random point, but within our boundaries. So the boundaries would be between 0 till 600 for the X, and the same thing will be for a UFO Y, but the boundaries here will be different. Should be from 30 to 100. 30 to 100. So here they're spawning randomly, but we control them basically, like where they have boundaries where they can spawn. Now I'm gonna blit our UFOs and our ships. So spaceship, and then ship X, ship Y, and then our UFO, UFO X, UFO Y, and we'll see this here as well. Okay, this is our ship, this is our UFO with a random spot. To make the ship move, we'll move it like this. We'll have to add for x value to move it in this direction, subtract the x value to move it in this direction, same for the UFO, but the ship won't move y, the UFO will. So we'll have to add the y value to make it move down. Close this. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that right now. First you want to define a keys statement. So keys equals to Pygame dot I'm pretty sure it's Pygame dot key dot get underscore PREXSTD rest. And then if the key, these are your keyboard keys, if the keys are Pygame dot k for keys underscore left, and what you wanna do is ship x plus minus equals to ship well, and then elif keys Pygame dot k underscore RIGHT. Okay. And ship x plus equals to ship well. You can do the same for the UFO. UFO plus equals UFO here. Okay, so once we do this, our ship and our UFO will move, but you'll notice that the UFO won't go left, and the ship and UFO will go out of the screen. So we'll change that by first putting this. By first, if ship X is less than or equals to 10, We can put 0, but we don't want to put 0, keeping the size of the ship in mind. So ship x now equals 10. So if it's less than 10, it will actually destroy that ship and then make a new one. But it will happen so fast that you won't realize. Same thing here, equals to 680, then ship x equals 680. That's what we're gonna do right over here, and we'll do the same thing for UFO. But we'll edit it a little bit. Such as UFO, and then for UFO we'll do UFO well will equal to 5 now. When this happens, UFO well will equal to 5, and UFO y will equal to plus equals to 50. Okay, we'll delete the statement here, and here same thing, UFO, it was same thing, UFO, and then we'll put minus here and here. Yeah, it's fine. Now let's run it and see what happens. Where's it at? Yeah, there you go. Now you can see your ship is going down, or your UFO is going down, and your ship is moving right and left. Okay. What we will do next is we will define our bullet. So bullet, just like how we loaded UFO and our ship and our player, we do bullet. Change everything for bullet. ULET bullet, but we'll change all of these values in a bit. Let's just do that real quick. Bullet, so the x of the bullet will be 0. Okay, and the y will be the same as our ship, which is 450. And our well will be 15 for the bullet, and there will be a bullet state, which will default, which will be ready at the beginning. Okay. Now ready basically is like it's inside the ship to fire. It's basically inside the ship, not on the screen. Okay, so that's our bullet right there. So we also want to put elif keys Pygame .k underscore space in there, and we will want to put inside of here space, we'll put if bullet state equals to ready. So if it's ready, which it will be, then we'll do this bullet, we will do bullet x equals to ship x, and we'll do fire bullet. Fire bullet will, I forgot to define this function, we'll do it right now. BULET and then bullet y. So what fire bullet will do, we'll define this function just a bit, but what that will do is that change the bullet state to fire, and also bullet to the bullet. The bullet state equals fire though. And then we'll call this fire bullet function again, and actually change the bullet state, and actually bullet y minus equals to bullet well. So this will make the bullet travel up like this. So let's make our fire bullet function now. Okay, let's now define our fire bullet function. Define fire bullet, and it takes the values of x and y, and then we first must globalize bullet state, and it changes bullet state to fire, and what it also does is that it lifts the bullet. Okay, bullet bullet X, bullet, no wait, sorry, and Y. Okay, so now we should have the bullet over there. Let's test it out. Okay, yeah, but the bullet, once you press space again, the bullet doesn't go again. So what we will want to do for that, if the bullet equals to a certain number, the bullet will come back to the spaceship. So if bullet Y is greater, less than or equal to 0, then the bullet will come, and the bullet Y will be 450 again, which is the spaceship. And the bullet state will be ready again. So now we can fire the bullet again. Okay, let's try it out. Okay, so we can fire it multiple times. But there is still one problem. The bullet doesn't fire from the nose of the rocket, it fires from the side. So let's fix that right over here. We can fix that by going here and x plus 10, related x plus 10, y plus 10. Let's see if this works. Okay. Yeah, it's working perfectly now. It's working perfectly. Next you wanna see if the bullet, next you wanna make a collision. Bullet collision, see what so we'll do def collision and def collision will take in no parameters. Actually, it will take in parameters. It will take in the UFO X, UFO Y, bullet X, BULT bullet Y. Okay, and this is where the math comes in. So distance. So use the distance formula. So we'll use math dot square root, which is math dot sqrt, and math dot power, and UFO X minus UFO Y, then to the power of 2, and we'll add that to math dot power UFO Y minus bullet Y. My bad, I said UFO Y. Okay, this is actually gonna be UFO X minus bullet X and UFO Y minus bullet Y. Okay. So that will be our distance formula right over there. If the distance is less than 25 between the bullet and the UFO, then return true. Okay. Now we'll implement this right underneath over here. So what we want to do is first see if the collision actually happened. Okay, so what we will do to check if the collision happened, we'll do collide equals to collision, and then pass in UFO X, UFO Y, bullet X, bullet Y. And then if collide equals to true, then bullet Y will respawn where the ship is, which is at 450, and bullet state will become ready again. And what we will now want to do is that the bullet will reset. The UFO will respawn once shot. It will respawn at a random position again. Yep. So we'll also put that in here. And what we will do is that when the UFOs hit, the UFO well will also increase by 1. So we'll do that as well. Okay, let's see if this works now. I'm hoping it does. Okay, let's see if I'm good at it. Okay, so you can see once we shoot the UFO, it goes back where it belongs. So you know what I want to do? Let's remove these elif statements, because then we can only do one at a time, one thing at a time, and make them if. That should be way better. Okay, so now that's our game right there. Now we want to see if the UFO comes all the way to the ship. We want to do a ship collision. Ship collision. And the same thing should be for the ship. We want to check the distance again. Okay, but this, instead of the UFO, instead of the bullet, we'll take ship X and ship X and ship Y. Ship Y. Okay, and then now you want to change all the bullets to ship. Okay, if the distance equals less than 27, yeah, just leave that like that. I think that's good enough. Actually, let's make it 30. Okay, now you want to check if the ship has actually collided. So what we'll do is that ship collide, ship COLIDE. If you forgot to rename this, or just rename off collision, and the bullet collision wouldn't work. Ship collision with the ship collide equals to ship collision, and then UFO X, UFO Y, and then ship X, ship Y. Okay, we'll put those parameters in, and if that actually happens, if the ship collide equals true, then everything will just stop. First, what we will stop is that we'll stop power. We'll stop the UFO well, and that will turn into 0 immediately. Same for the ship. Safe well will also turn into 0, and bullet well will also turn into 0. Now these things can't be moved around. And so what I was thinking now is that we want to show the score every time something happens. Every time we hit a UFO. So score will originally be 0 def show score. We'll use a function for this, x value, y coordinate, and then n. That can be our font size, since we will show our score multiple times, 2 times to be exact, in our game. Pygame dot font dot font with uppercase F, and then there you can use the fonts Pygame has already provided, or download your own fonts using googlefonts.com. Link will be in the description below. So I used Roboto from there, Roboto, medium, medium, and font files are TTF. Okay, this will be N. Now, score text equals font dot render, and then score ORE, and then this will be your string, and then score. Okay, now you want to make this the value of true, and you want to use RGB colors again. So 255, 255, 255, that's the white, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Now win.glit can be used for both fonts and images. Score text and then x y. Okay, so there it is. Okay. Now now under here we'll show our score. So show score x value of 10, y value of 10, and then 20. And to increase the score every time you hit a ship, we'll go back to our if collide equals true, then score plus equals to 1. Okay, let's try it out now. Okay. Okay, that's our score right there. Yeah, score is implemented. I mean increasing, that's good. Okay, now at Pygame we also want to show the score once the game is over. Once the ship collides. So show score, we'll do show score in here, show score, and then we can make this to the value of 300 as x, 300 as x, 255 as y, 55, and the font size can be 35. So that's going to be there. Okay. I'm also thinking of making a game over, or make game over function. So we'll do that, game over, and def game over, This will take in no parameters, okay? And then what we will do in here is that font equals, let's copy all this, and then we'll change the font to Roboto Bold. I also have that downloaded from Google Fonts again, Roboto Bold. Okay, and change this. This will also be in white, but instead we will write the game over. Okay, and we'll also change this to uppercase. Okay, now we will call the game over function down here. Game over. So let's hope that works. Oh, we forgot a bracket. No, we forgot a whole quote. Okay. Done. Okay. Your game actually is pretty boring right now, but we will make it better, I promise, later in a bit. We'll add multiple enemies, multiple UFOs. I'll show you how to do that. Let's just hope, I hope this was faster. Okay, so this happens, n is not defined. Oh, because this n can actually be replaced at 40, so it should work. Let's also define a buttons class. Sorry, not a class, a function. Button. This will be our quit button, exit game button. Okay, and then first we want to do mouse. Mouse collects, so this Pygame mouse function collects all of your mouse movements. So Pygame.mouse.get.pos for position, and click will be whenever you click your button. Okay, Pygame.mouse.getPressed. It just happens that Pygame collects literally all of your data. So font can be this again, and this font can be 20. And then there will be a quick text. Okay, quick text. QUIT. And now you can either get an image to do this, split an image to do this, or make a rectangle like I am. So Pygame.draw.rect, and then the window you want to draw this in. Okay, and then the RGB colors 25500. I'll use red. And then this, you will first do your X value 325 for me, and Y value would be 310. Then the width would be 100. Height will be 30. So that's there. Okay. Now you want to win.blit your quit text over your rectangle. So quit text 350. These aren't exactly the values of the rectangle because they will be in the middle of the rectangle, but that's that. Okay. Okay. Now you wanna see if the rectangle actually gets pressed. It's a little hard to do this. So if click 0, equals 1, the click 0 equals 1, that's when you left click. Okay, so if 325, your x value, plus the width 100 is greater than mouse 0, which is greater than your x value at 325 and 310, plus your y value plus your height is greater than mouse 1, which is greater than 310, then Pygame dot quit and quit. Okay. Let me explain this because this is a little hard. So if your x value right over here plus your width, if your x and your width is greater than mouse 0, okay, and the mouse 0 is greater than your x value, okay, so that's one thing. And if your y value and your height is greater than mouse 1, and mouse 1 is greater than your y, then this will happen, this will occur. Okay, so one more thing we've done wrong. It should actually be mouse.getPosition. Okay, and we want to call our button class over here, like I've done here, or it just won't work. So let's run the module and let's see. Let's hope it works now. It's game over, that score and quit. If you click this, the program is basically killed. Okay, so now what we want to do is if we want to make multiple enemies, like I said before. So I've cleaned up this code a little bit here, and I'll show you how to do just that. So you will want to change our UFO over here a little bit. Okay, so you want to make a list over here. UFO equals to a list. UFO X will be a list. UFO Y will equal to a list. Everything will equal to a list. UFO well will equal to a list. Rel will equal to a list. Okay. And the UFO num, so the number of UFOs we want to show will be 12. Yeah. So instead of putting equals, we have to do append. append. Okay. UFO.append, that's appended. Okay, so just copy and paste this append everywhere. UFO y append, UFO well append. Okay. So instead of equals, again we want brackets. And brackets on the other side as well. So that is there right now. Okay. So that's there. And for UFO in range, actually let's do UFOs in range. UFO num. So for 10 UFOs, we'll do this. Okay? 10 times. Now we will go down here where UFO is, and we will do for I, so I is one UFO. For I in range, UFO num. So for 10 UFOs, we want to see if the ship has been collided. Yeah, first thing we want to do is see if the ship has been collided with it. Okay. Okay, so we will want to change all of these to I. Okay. My bad. I. Copy this and paste it everywhere. Over here. UFO well. Okay. And next thing we want to do is see if we want to move our UFO. Okay, so again, this we will put eyes. So over here. Okay, so we've made a list. Now we're just putting these. Next, what we want to do is we want to leave this like this for the collision. And we want to put eyes over here. Let me just tab this real quick. Okay. This will take some time. Okay, so everywhere we've talked about our UFOs, we want to put that in here. Even UFO boundaries. Okay. This is all messed up. Format it. Actually, there's another way I can just format them all, but it's fine. Okay. And the blit and the UFO blit we also have at the bottom. We also want to put that in here instead of the bottom, the window UFO. Okay, so right over here, UFO blit, and then this is necessary to make more enemies, or this is actually pretty difficult just because of the way it is. Okay, and for this, I'm going to put for I in range UFO now. We have to put the same statement again, because once the ship collides, only one UFO will stop. Okay, not all of them. So we want to do this. Okay, now let's run. Let's cross our fingers and hope it works. Okay, invalid syntax. What am I doing now? Yep. Run module. Invalid syntax once again. Okay. Let's hope it works now. Pretty sure it will. Okay, that's our 10 UFOs. So yeah, actually, this game is much more interesting and fun now. Okay, and they all of them increase their wealth, and yep, let's see what happens now. Okay, now one of them crashes. Yeah. Now we press quit and everything stops. Yeah, there we have it. We have our enemies. Now I'll actually be showing you how to actually import sound. So first we need to know that music and sounds are two different things. Music is a thing that occurs throughout the entire game. Sound only happens when one thing happens. So first we will make our background music right over here. So we will do that by mixer.music.load, and then your music file inside of quotes, background.wav. Okay, the file needs to be in WAV. Okay, now we're gonna do mixer.music.play. What you put inside these brackets here is so if you leave this, the music will only play once. If you put 5, the music will play 5 times. If you put -1, though, the music will continue playing. So here you actually want the music to stop as well. So you'll do mixer.music.stop in when our game is over. Mixer.music.stop. Okay, let's see if that works. I'm sure it will. Yep, see, that's our music over there. It will loop for the whole game. Okay. Okay. Now we also want to play a sound when we shoot our bullet. So inside when we press the space here, let's see this. Press the space here. We'll put a bullet sound here. Bullet sound. Bullet sound. Okay. This bullet sound equals mixer.sound bullet .wav. Okay. And then bullet sound dot hit. This is the sound that will play every time the bullet is launched. Let's try that as well. There you go, that's our bullet sound over there. That's our bullet sound. Let's also make an explosion sound over here. When the UFO is hit. So if the collision equals true in there, right over there. And then explosion sound equals mixer dot sound explosion WAV explosion sound play. Let's run it. So let's run this, and now we'll actually see the explosion. Okay. And we are done. So you can see once fully made, this game is actually pretty fun to play, in my opinion. So guys, there is this module which makes Pygame really easy, where a beginner who got into programming yesterday could use it honestly. And the module is completely based off Pygame and made by the University of Alberta, U of A. It's available in my description, in my GitHub, and the link will be in the description down below. It's called Pygame, right over here. And I do intend on making a video on how to use it, so keep a lookout for that. And we are done. So guys, what you could do now is you could add more enemies, add more sounds, whatever you would like. See, the great thing about programming is that there are so many things you can do, and there are so many different ways you can do them. My way and your way of doing one similar thing will be two completely different things. So if you got something valuable out of this video, do consider liking, and also subscribe if you like, I don't know, and check out my Instagram at notayanmerchant. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.